All right, I'm Lee Elci filling in for the one and only Mike Gallagher. Again, 800-655-MIKE, ReliefFactor.com studios is where we are. I have a very special guest, been waiting to get this gentleman on for a while. I met him down in Washington at a fair. It was a fair event about immigration. And he has been popping up everywhere. Sheriff Lamb served as the sheriff of Pinal County, Arizona since 2017. He previously served in the Salt River Prima Maricopa Indian Community Police Department and the Republican candidate right now for the United States Senate in 2024, looking to unseat incumbent independent Kristen Sinema. And that, of course, is the one and only Sheriff Mark Lamb. Sheriff, what's happening, my good friend? What's going on?
I'm doing good, Lee. Thanks for having me on today. I appreciate it, brother.
Well, listen, I appreciate it so much. So, again, we're just going to jump into the deep end. I want to get to some of the things as far as your Senate race before we run out of time. But I want to start with the only word for what we're witnessing at the southern border is an invasion. Potentially up to 9 million illegal immigrants are pouring over the border since Joe Biden has taken over. A lot of them are military-aged men. What is it like for law enforcement and on the front lines? It's got to be chaos.
Oh, it's complete chaos. And look, Lee, I think that number's closer to 12 to 15 million because the gotaways are only the ones they've seen. There's a ton of people that come in here that are never seen on any camera. And the cartels know exactly where to push those people through. And the majority of them have been military-age men. And I think the average person thinks, oh, this folk's coming from Mexico or Guatemala. They just want to make a better life for themselves. The reality is these are majority right now are coming from Senegal, Chad, Mauritania, Uzbekistan, Egypt, Afghanistan. They're coming from Russia, Ukraine, China. They're coming from all over. And like you said, they're military-age men. So it's very concerning to us. It's not getting any better. It's getting worse and worse by the day. And as long as this administration is in office, I doubt that it's ever going to get better.
All right, so why do you think, or how do you think these people are getting here? Someone's got to be funding this. There's got to be some theory behind how people are coming from Chad and some of these other impoverished nations. And again, military-age men set and ready to cross the border. How are they getting here?
Well, this is going to be NGOs, non-governmental organizations. Not only do we have them funding them when they get here. You know, I did a video recently that I took. You know, it went like wildfire, but then you had the mainstream media doing everything they could to try to prove me wrong, saying that they're not getting free flights, they're not getting free phones, and they're not getting Visa cards, which is a lie. My information comes from boots on the ground, Border Patrol agents, other people right here on the ground. They're listening to the government who's telling them, oh, no, we're not doing that. The way they do it is they use NGOs, non-governmental organizations. They're using those same NGOs, globalist NGOs, that are providing the people the money and the means to travel to Brazil or wherever and make that trek all the way up here to America in the first place. So I would say this is a lot of not just American-funded NGOs, but globally funded NGOs.
So you had made that video, and I'm glad you brought that up because I did want to bring that up just so folks maybe don't know the video that Sheriff Lamb is talking about. You stated that illegals get cell phones, a plane ticket anywhere they want to go in the country, and a $5,000 Visa card, correct?
Yeah, look, I don't know that everyone's getting a $5,000 Visa card, but in our area, the ones that are coming through get processed. The majority of them are getting Visa cards with up to $5,000 on it. And that information came from Border Patrol guys. And since then, I've had even more Border Patrol agents reach out to me on social media and say, thank you for telling the truth. This is the truth. The government wants to downplay it and pretend like they're not doing it, which is why they use NGOs in the first place. But look, we, the American taxpayer, are paying for all these flights. Go to the airport. Here in Phoenix, if you go to the airport, there's 50 people on every flight that are from other countries. You've got the flights that are going everywhere. You've got these Visa cards. They're all dressed in brand new clothes. You don't have to look very far to see that what we're saying is true.
Sheriff Mark Lamb is with us. He's also a United States Senate candidate, and we will get to that. But I wanted to ask you, so I think a lot of people don't understand the mechanism behind what happens when you catch one of these folks. So, you know, you're at the border, Sheriff, and you apprehend, let's say, a handful of illegals. Can you take us through what actually happens to them, and then how long does it take for them actually to be back out on the street with a promise to appear in court, which could be like in 2030, right?
Yeah, look, one key is we're not right on the border. We're a one county off. We're 50 miles off the border in the desert on the south end of one end, and we're 70 miles off the border where the I-10, the interstate, comes through our county, which is where the majority of, if you cross the border at some point, they're coming through my county to get to Phoenix. So when we encounter these people either in the desert or at a traffic stop of vehicles smuggling these people, we'll call Border Patrol. And normally Border Patrol will come and pick them up, but occasionally they can't because they're too busy. They're tasked with having to deal with 10,000 people a day, across the southern border. And so sometimes they can't come pick them up. And we're forced to release those people because Arizona has no law that says it's illegal to be in this country illegally. That is a federal law. And unless the federal agents come and enforce it, well, our hands are tied. We can hold the drivers accountable. We can hold the coyotes or the smugglers accountable.
Right.
But it is very difficult to hold the other people accountable unless Border Patrol comes and gets them.